Welcome back, friends. Miss Dempsey here. Today, we will be reading a new nonfiction text about transportation and learning how vocabulary and text features can help us as readers to understand a story. The first thing I'd like to look at is the cover of our book. On the cover, we already receive important information about the text. Notice that we see a photograph. A photo can help the reader know what something looks like. The cover also has the title of the story, Getting Around by Plane. As a reader, I now know that this story might be about planes. This page is called the title page. The title page gives me even more information. On the title page, I now know who the author is and the publisher. Let's read the title page. Getting Around by Plane by Casey Mayer and published by the Heinemann Library, Chicago, Illinois. Another place that a reader might find information before reading is the back cover. On the back cover, readers often find a short summary. It gives us some information about what the story would be about. Getting Around by Plane. Do you move by plane? Read this book to find out how people get around by plane. After looking at both covers and the title page, what do you think this book is about? This nonfiction book is about airplanes. Nonfiction books often have features that give the reader extra information to help the reader understand what the book is about. Over the next several videos, we will explore a number of these text features as we read more nonfiction texts. Here I've made a chart to keep track of the different text features that we learn about. Text features. The first text feature I have listed is picture or photograph. This is an example of what that looks like. Here is a photograph of a ladybug. A photograph shows the reader what something looks like. We saw a photograph of an airplane on the cover of our book, and there's going to be many more photographs inside our story. The next text feature listed on our chart is Table of Contents. A table of contents looks like this. It's a page in the front of a book that lists the key topics covered in a book and where you might find that information in the story. Let's take a peek at the table of contents in our book, Getting Around by Plane. Here is that table of contents. Contents. Getting Around by Plane, page 4. What Planes Carry, page 6. How Planes Fly, page 8. Working on Planes, page 12. Where Planes Fly, page 14. Wow, it sounds like we're going to learn a lot about airplanes. Along with text features, I have some vocabulary words that I'd like us to think about that might help us in our reading today. Let's take a look. Here are our 4 key vocabulary words for our story, Getting Around by Plane. Our first word is travel. Travel means to go from one place to another. This family looks like they're traveling in a car. Wow, it looks like they're passing by Mount Rushmore, which is a national monument. Where do you like to travel to? Miss Dempsey likes to travel to places where it's warm, like Florida and Texas. Our next word is transportation. Transportation is the way people move from one place to another. In our illustration here, we see a boy who is riding a skateboard to get from one place to another. Here we have a car filled with people traveling, a monorail, and even a wagon can be a form of transportation. Miss Dempsey's favorite way to travel, my favorite mode of transportation, would be by bicycle. Bicycle allows me to look around and observe nature as I travel. I've also traveled by plane and boat, car, bus, and monorail. Our next word is depart. Depart means to leave. Notice that the people in this illustration are departing or leaving the grocery store. Before I depart from my house for the day, I brush my teeth, comb my hair, and get dressed in something nice. And our final vocabulary word today is land. Land means to come down from the air to the ground or water. In our illustration, the children let go of the monkey bars and are landing down on the soft grass below. Land. I hope you find our vocabulary words helpful as we read through our story today. Let's begin. Getting around by plane. Contents. Getting around by plane, page 4. What planes carry, page 6. How planes fly, page 8. Working on planes, page 12. Where planes fly, page 14. Getting around by plane. Every day, people move from place to place. Some people move by plane. What planes carry? Planes carry people. Planes carry cargo. Cargo is a group of things that are being moved from one place to another. What did you learn about planes from the words and photos that we just read? I learned that people travel, and planes are a way that people can get from one place to another. And I also learned that planes carry cargo. Let's keep reading. How planes fly. Planes have engines to help them fly. Planes have wings to help them fly. Planes take off on runways. Planes land on runways. There's that word land, to come from the sky down to the ground. A runway is a special road at an airport where planes can take off from and land. Working on planes. Pilots fly planes all over the world. Flight attendants help passengers on planes. The pilot is the person who flies the plane, and the flight attendant's job is to help the passengers who are riding the plane. A passenger is the people who are riding on the plane. What did you learn about planes from the words and photos in the part we just read? I learned that planes take off and land on runways. I learned that pilots are the people that fly the plane, and flight attendants are the people that help the passengers, and that passengers are the people who ride the plane. Where planes fly. Planes fly over cities. Planes fly over the country. Planes fly over mountains. Planes land on water. Wow, that's interesting. I didn't know they could land on water. Planes land on ships. Planes help fight fires. Planes take you high above the clouds, and then they take you back down again. What did you learn about where planes fly? As I mentioned earlier, I didn't know planes could land on water. I also thought it was interesting that they could land on ships. I thought they only could land on those long roads called runways. I thought it was interesting that they can fly above the clouds, above the mountains, and that some planes even help. Our book taught us a lot of different things about planes. Where they fly, what kind of things they carry, and many, many other facts. I have some questions. According to our story, what did planes carry? Our book told us that planes carry people and cargo. What did our story tell us today about where planes fly? This book told us that they fly over cities and mountains, the country, water, and even above the clouds. What else did you learn about planes? I learned that some planes help. Not only do they carry cargo and people from place to place, but I thought it was interesting that they use planes to put out fires. We sure did learn a lot about planes today. I found using our text features and vocabulary very helpful in understanding our text. For today's activity, let's review and revisit our vocabulary. In this week's email, you received 2 printables that look like this. It has our vocabulary words, some blank space to draw a picture, and blank space to write a sentence. Your activity is to read the word and definition, draw a picture, and write a sentence about it. If you don't have these papers but would like to do the activity too, a plain white blank piece of paper works just as well. Depart, to leave a place. Land, to come down from the air to the ground or water. Travel, to go from one place to another. Transportation, a way to move people or things from one place to another. Miss Dempsey made an example using the word transportation. Here's a plane, and this little picture inside that window, I don't know if you can see it, that's me. And my sentence says, transportation by plane is my favorite way to travel. In our next video, we will be learning about some other text features that this book has to offer. And we'll get to practice and create some of our own. Until next time, be well. See you soon.